Hey, it's Seth. We're back with another episode. In this episode, we're jam-packed. We've got our Halloween week. We did a spirit week, had a lot of fun there. And we've got our company Christmas party. Between all the partying, we actually did find time to work on some cars. We've got our customer Dan's 70 Chevelle. You've seen that car in here before. We did a lot of air ride work on it before. This time around, we did a roll bar and some seatbelt harnesses. Also in this episode, we've got our killer IT guy, Mike. Coolest IT guy you've never met. He's got a 71 Charger, did a full drivetrain package on it, like 800 horsepower to the ground. And then we came in with a QA1 coilover system, all new steering, all new Wheelwood big brakes, polish it off with a set of 30/30 Autosports wheels, and a big 3-inch exhaust on some Spintech mufflers. Check it out.
So the front end, we pulled out the factory subframe, all the suspension, control arms, everything. We put in the QA1 subframe, their tubular subframe. We had to change the oil pan to clear the new subframe. That includes getting rid of the factory steering box and everything else. QA1 changes over to a steering rack, which just feels a lot better performance. New upper and lower control arms, comes with coilovers, the bigger sway bar and everything else in the front. Kind of makes it more of a modern, sporty feel, if you will.
I must be blind cause the way that it's looking, I'm trying, but I don't see no competition. I got success in my future, man, how do I know it? This prophecy, no premonition. I'm not afraid of your partners, they talk a big game, but they really just softer than in it.
The steering shaft and actually the column is different because it all hooks up different. The kit comes with all the stuff to convert the factory steering column to be able to run a steering shaft. You have to cut it down, and because everything's kind of incorporated, it's got a rag joint and everything incorporated into the factory steering column, so you can't just put a shaft on it. So it comes with a bearing and all that stuff. The problem with this one is it was a column shift car, so it had the shifter tube on the outside of the steering column. That shifter tube kind of gets in the way to be able to put the supplied bearing and all that stuff on. So we ended up doing a aftermarket Flaming River steering column. Once I got the new column in, I was able to start mocking up the steering shaft to go around the headers to kind of figure that out because it's super tight. I ended up having to make a bracket and do a support bearing so we could do 3 separate U-joints to get out and around the header primary there. I made this bracket here, and I made this to kind of bolt onto the subframe with just drilling and tapping it. That way I didn't have to mess with any of the factory powder coating from QA1. So that way it doesn't compromise any of that, it just bolts on. So the rear end, again with the QA1, came with the 4-link, all the brackets, upgraded sway bar, came with all the coilovers. We ended up doing a 9-inch rear end. We ended up doing Wheelwood brakes all the way around. With the 9-inch rear end with the Wheelwood brakes, we opted for the package that actually keeps the factory e-brake. So that way it all works like it would have if we never changed the rear end at all. We did have to make new power steering lines for the steering rack itself. These are all made in-house. We had the hydraulic crimper. We also did the soft lines that go to the calipers. So we make all the brake hoses in-house also with the same machine. We crimp all the fittings, we stock all the conversion fittings and the hose ends. We had to swap the headers out, be able to clear the steering shaft and everything else because it wasn't really playing well with the other headers that were on it. And so we just pulled the other ones out, bolted these ones on. The car originally had a 2.5-inch exhaust on it, but the motors worked over pretty good, so we stepped it up to a 3-inch. So we cut the factory ball flanges off the headers and welded on V-bands. Just kind of started from there back. When you look at it, when you look under the car and everything else, you want to make sure that everything runs parallel, nice and neat, nice and even, uniform, symmetrical. Just that way it doesn't look weird, and it all kind of just looks like it flows and belongs there. It's not just kind of thrown in there. One side is actually offset a little bit more because the drive shaft and the tunnel is actually offset. Trying to get that to look symmetrical with the drive shaft and everything else. Well, to be able to kind of line up with the rear end to go up and over all the rear suspension and everything else kind of in the same spots on either side. The exhaust that we took off of it was just a straight up dual exhaust. It had no crossover, it had no X pipe or anything like that in it. So we went with an H pipe on this one. The car's aggressive looking, so he wants it aggressive sounding. Yeah, we painted it with a high temp header paint, and then as the car runs and everything else, that'll kind of get baked in. Yep, and we ended up going with Spintech mufflers just to kind of try them out. Whoa, what was that? So we've completed the QA1 coilover suspension and got the wheelwood brakes hanging on there. We're gonna go back for brake lines and things here pretty quick, but we needed to fit for the wheels. Yeah, so you bolt this together at the size rim diameter. So we're doing an 18 here. Then you go to the width that you wanna run. We're set at a 10. We want a little bit more pooch on the sidewall, more dragster look than Pro Touring. And then from that point, we loosen the bolts here, you can actually slide the backspace. So we mount this up. Usually we have an idea what backspace we're gonna wanna use. In this case, we were way off from the original. We were trying to set it at a 5-inch backspace. We're gonna end up roughly about a 6-inch backspace to clear the outer fender well and then the 4-link bar. So once you slide all that together, get it to where it fits the car nicely, you bring it out here, do a couple measurements, get a formula, subtract and add, and then you end up with your final backspace, and that counts. We do it with the brake rotor hats on. That way everything is figured in real time, exactly what this wheel is going to look like on there. So we went with the 3030 Autosport wheels. He kind of wanted to do a kind of a drag pack looking, because it is kind of a drag racing looking car. He kind of still wanted that look, but kind of more modern too. We did go with the 18-inch, which is, I believe, is the minimum to be able to clear the bigger Willwood brakes. They are a true bead lock in the back, and then the front is essentially the same wheel. Where it's a powder coated center, polished, you know, lip. Doesn't have the bead lock obviously because it doesn't need it in the front.
All right, so we're here, we're taking Mike's 1971 Charger back to him. Finally got everything wrapped up on it. We did the GTX for him, the Chevelle for him, and the Mustang that he had. Same the other Charger. And I think he's actually got a couple more in store for us. Got some stuff finished up on the motor. It hadn't actually been run yet, this new engine that he had built. We didn't do a whole lot there, just some wiring and some things we switched around, some plumbing and stuff. Like I said, literally, because the car hadn't been driven yet, so there was just some little things that weren't finished off. The ratio for the throttle, so it has a dual quad setup. It has twin Holley snipers plus a injector hat style scoop. So the throttle, rather than just opening the throttle on a carburetor, it's got to go open two of them that are sitting sideways, plus open the butterflies on the injector hat. So it had a real responsive throttle, I guess. You know, it was like you go to push, and then wide open. And this car makes right around 800 horsepower. So Jason actually milled out some new arms and linkages. We just took some aluminum stock and milled it and shaped it in the length that we wanted. Got a little bit better angles. Like I said, it's just more user friendly. It was great before if you were going to drag race it, but driving it in town, parking lots and stuff could be pretty brutal. We did a power steering pump flow reducer because this particular pump wasn't getting along with the steering rack we had. So basically, I've got good tight, power steering, but it's not overreactive. So it's a lot better for a car like this. It's a great little cars and coffee ride right here. Show up, be the talk of the whole thing, make some noise.
Chevelle back in here again. This car previously came in for some air ride issues, and we ended up upgrading the air system and making it real nice for him, doing a few other little ins and outs, cleaning up wiring, things like that. So he's been out driving it for a while, and he wanted to put in a roll bar. Yeah, it's just a standard roll bar, mainly so he can put 5-point harnesses in it. The car's pretty racy looking anyway, so throw a roll bar in it makes it look a little even more. We actually bought a kit that was for a 70 Chevelle from Rhodes Race Cars. They're out of Tennessee. Had to do a few, because the car's been tubbed and everything, the whole rear floor is different, the whole trunk floor is different. I had to do a few modifications to it, and it definitely adds safety to it, but hopefully he's not planning on driving this one upside down.
Got the old tape player in the side. In case you want to throw your cassette in there.
You want to slap a floppy disk in this motherfucker.
We're boxing up a spindle from Street Edge, and you got your chopping block control arms. An order that got brought back to me from Edgar, because that's the head sales guy right there, I think. Okay. So me and AJ, we have a playlist that we just vibe to. Okay. Catch a vibe, be happy at work. It's a good day if you're happy at work.
Day in the life of the shipping guys.
Day in the life.
Boxes on boxes.
Yeah, we got plenty of boxes. Rest of the day, we're gonna finish up the little straggler orders. Then we're gonna move that one upstairs, organize upstairs, and then clean up. We got a big event this weekend.
We need to get things out of the way for the Christmas party.
Right.
Because Seth's gonna be spitting oil on everything.
So this is I believe it's a 70 Oldsmobile Cutlass, and it's got a 454 with a 671 big case, old school blower. Got a little fogger plate on there. This is legit.
Here's the nerve-wracking
Got the big inch slick in the back. Roll cage. This is like the real deal. 1,000 horsepower.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas! Hey, Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown!
Hey J. Cole, I'm from Santa Country, man. I'm from Sweden.
We're here, 2025 employment. This is my Theo, James. We're here, we live, we local, we having a good time. 17 years of 100% bad fucking advice.
What we gotta do with this?
Oh yeah, I've heard there's dicks in the air.
There is.
What's the, hey!
We all
Wait,
related.
We have to stand in order. Like.
Now we got white bread. Well, I'm Jason, but everybody knows that. 28 years at Switch. Next year I get my gold watch. Tastes like bacon.
Oh, this.
It's like Northern Scandinavia lost that.
Tastes like bacon.
My name is Sebastian. Probably seen me before on the Switch videos. You know, hanging out here. I bought a bike. Need to do some biking over here. You know, I like to shop. I think I have more friends in America than I do back home, actually. Oh yeah, Old Faithful. Score!
Thank you, everybody, for showing up to our Switchmas party. I appreciate each and every one of you.
We want to say extra thanks to those that work for us.
Yes. There's no exchanging, no trading, no stealing. There is just the present that you pick and you own it.
Drunken Santa.
Drunken Santa. Who's got number one? Who pulled number one? There you go. Biggest first. Biggest first. J. Cole, number 2. That's right, King. Get it. All right, where's 9? Who's got 9? Let's go, Jason. Oh, don't talk to your wife. Give your own shit. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Oh, you did talk to your wife. Yeah. Hey, one of them's a cat. I ain't gonna lie. I hope you like cats, because one of them's a kitten. 6, 7. Oh, what is it? Say, what is it?
This is the only Switch employee that got an extra present for no reason.
Yeah, that's right.
Are you or are you not gonna let Noah put those wrench knives on the counter at your house?
No, fuck no.
They're going on the motherfucking counter!
In Coleman cooler? Yeah, I mean at least an 18 rack of High Life in there, glass. What do we got? What do we got?
We got some churro cheesecake.
Not a big cheesecake guy. We'll probably get into it.
Try it.
First of all, I dressed up just for this event, and of course it's one of my favorite events, besides the Get Down, and you guys all went to that.
That's right.
It was just a little something I put together, some of my friends to show up and hang out a good time. I had to put all my tits away. Yes, we love this family.
We do. We love the Switch family all day.
This is it right here.
Yeah!
My name is Edgar. I work at Switch Suspension. Subject matter expert. That's just so that I can tell people what I do.
Merry Switchmas. Thank you, everybody. We love you.
I hate leaving, you know. Yeah, it's always sad, you know, because I feel more at home here than I do back home, actually. But I appreciated the Switchmas party, though. That was fucking great. I like that. So I might come back for that, you know, and then see what happens. Probably, hopefully, coming back start of next year or maybe in the fall. Got the bike. Gonna do some upgrades on it, you know, in the future. Yeah, I like the looks of it, but I try to get some bigger rims. I spent a lot of money this last 2 months, both here and back home, so I need to work some to get it back, but that's what it's all about, I guess.